Hello Australia, episode 513 of The Couch. Thanks for coming along for the journey. We've got a big show for you. Check out what friends I have on the show today. My good friend Steve Collins will be taking us on a train trip with Neesha Seth. Can't wait to hear that one. Cameron Lynch, my also good friend, he's taking us through all the news about TV. My other good friend Clay and Paula talk music today. And my other good friend are coming in from the Leukaemia Foundation to talk about Australia and the world's greatest shave and how you can be involved. We've got such a big show. Hope you can stick around because 513 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can watch it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with friends and the best in town. Oh, it's showtime on the couch.
Oh, watching myself in the opener there, just gutsing all those marshmallows, makes me look like a fat pig. I suppose you are what you are. Anyway, big show, hope you can stick around. We've got a big opener for you. This young guy, he is part of Chelsea Gibson's students here in Perth, and he's going to open the show for us. His name is Arden, no relation to Rick Arden, the 7 newsreader, but he wants to be. He's going to perform a self-written song which he's written and also performing himself. Here he is, he's singing Weirdo I Am on the couch today.
Don't look 'cause it can't be seen, and a woman's dressed like a beauty queen. These kids with their half-shaved heads are the ones that the girls want a big piece of. I stand in my bag of jeans like a fool that good in the 70s. Don't look 'cause it can't be seen, and a woman's dressed like a beauty queen. And I found my love. It's a drifting dove. She don't like the style I'm thinking of. She won't let me ask me about herself. But when I go, that's when I know I feel like dancing in the rain, like a quirky weird oh I am. I'll sing songs about my loneliness, and that's why you'll have to join me. You'll have to join me. Well, I'm a little confused on why I get so abused. I'm the old human beings when we're stripped down and conceived. I just like having fun, and you keep pointing your gun. And it's a natural instinct to just go run and run. And I found my love. It's a drifting dove. She don't like the style I'm thinking of. She won't let me ask me about herself. But when I go, that's when I know I feel like dancing in the rain, like a quirky weird oh I am. I'll sing songs about my loneliness, and that's why
And that is, of course, Arden. for those people who didn't know. He wrote that. It's an original song. He's got another one coming up for us, haven't you? Yep, he nods his head. He's got another original song coming up at the end of the show, so stick around. Great local artist, and we love having him on board. If you want to be part of the show as well, folks, don't forget you can write to us. Go to our website, thecouch.com.au, and we would love to have you write to us and say you want to come and perform on the show, and we'll give you airplay. And for those people over east, if you've got a professional clip, we'll also consider putting it on the show, as long as it's done properly. All right, what does this remind you of? Choo choo! A very bad impersonation of a train. Well, Neesha and Steve are here to do a proper one because they're going to talk train travel. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Fred. That was amazing, I thought, Steve, don't you think?
Yeah, I think Fred's in need of a choo-choo bar. You probably don't know about choo-choo bars,
I
but
don't.
they go back a while. But they were black and they're very tough, and you'd eat them and you get black all over your mouth.
Oh, so probably not very good before this segment then.
No, not very good for
No.
not very good with your white dress.
My lovely dress made out of curtain
But
material is
but Fred's right, because we're going training today, because I love trains. Have you done any big train journeys?
I haven't, but I'd love to. So tell me about
Well,
Switzerland.
we're going to do 4 today, and the reason I've chosen these is because they are just so beautiful. The journeys themselves are so beautiful. Some of them are very, very short. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is the Albular Railway, which is in Switzerland.
Ooh.
And it's really 2 railways. There's two parts of it. It runs between Thusis and San Moritz in Switzerland. Isn't it? It's just beautiful. And San Moritz, of course, is one of the great resort towns there, ski resorts. But this thing is just an amazing railway. There's 2 sections. The one from Albula is 67 kilometres. And look at this. Look at these viaducts they're going through. And the one from Bernina, which sounds like a sewing machine, is 61 kilometres. But it's just incredible. They've gone through these mountains. Now, you see this. Look at the way it goes. It climbs several thousand feet over a very, very short period of time, over a very short space. It climbs about 4,000 feet over about 6 kilometres. And in order to achieve that, see, this is what they call, they're in the clouds there, but in order to achieve that, they've built these incredible spiral tunnels inside mountains.
That's
and
phenomenal.
there's 2 spiral tunnels which go up. And then you've got trestles and bridges and other tunnels. And at one stage there, you're climbing so high and you're coming out of tunnels and you're going along a viaduct and then you go through another tunnel. And there's this little town there, just down in a valley. And you come out of the first tunnel and there's a big church. That's the thing you can see most because it's got a tall spire. And it's on your left. And then you go across a viaduct, then you go in another tunnel and you come out. And that same church is on your right and you've climbed significantly higher. And then you go through another tunnel and you come out and it's on your left again. And it's just amazing. But they have to do this to go very, very high. But it's very, it is. And it's fantastic. It's very, very comfortable. Yeah. It's a narrow gauge railway, one metre, which means that it's a little bit rickety. But they've got it's only a 4-carriage train because they can't get the train can't be too long to get up there. And of course, you end up in San Moritz, which is one of the great resorts towns in Switzerland.
Lovely.
So that's a terrific little train trip. Now, the next one we're going to go to is the Flam.
The Flam.
The Flam is in Norway.
Norway.
And this has been judged as the prettiest train trip in the world.
In the world?
Not just in Europe, in the world. And it starts at the town of Flam in Norway, and it goes up to a place called Midal. Now, the Flam starts in the fjords. It starts at sea level, and it's only 20 kilometres long. As I said, this is a very, very short trip. It's 20 kilometres long. And
so how long would that take, roughly? How fast does the train go?
It's got 8 stations, so it stops at all the stations, but it climbs, once again, this thing climbs about a couple of thousand metres within that short period of time.
Right,
It's got a gauge, 20 metres long, 16.6 kilometres of this trip is on a very, very high gradient of 1.18. Now, anybody that knows about trains, that's ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
But it starts off at the fjords. It starts off at the Sjónarfjord, which is...
You've got such great pronunciation happening now.
Well, it's just beautiful. and a bit like the Albular line, it goes through all these, because they have to go through mountains, it goes through all these tunnels and it goes through these trestles, but you get the most gorgeous views as you climb up.
Are these quite historic as well, Steve? So these trains have been around for a long period of time?
The Albular Railway in Switzerland has been around for a while. The Flam has been around for a little while, but because of the engineering, it's not all that old.
Right.
Because they couldn't have done it with the old steam trains.
I was thinking.
But this thing, you come out of a tunnel, and you've got the Jerndefossen, which is one of the highest waterfalls in the world. It has a fall of over 140 metres, which is over 500 feet. Bang!
My
and you come out of
goodness.
this tunnel, there's this thing greeting you. So you keep going up until you reach the main terminus. But it's just gorgeous. It only takes an hour for the whole journey, but it is just so spectacular. And the best way to go is to go up the hill rather than down the hill, because that's a little bit faster. Yeah. Now, the third one we're going to do is we're going to go to Alaska, and we're going to go to the Yukon. The Yukon, of course, is in Canada.
Okay.
And this is called the White Pass Yukon Narrow Gauge Railway. It's another narrow gauge railway, and here we go. This is another one. This one climbs very, very, very steeply. This one only runs
a bit
in
older,
the
that
summer. Yeah, but they've got the steam train there, and they've got these historic carriages, the carriages that you sit in. One was built in, the oldest was built in 1881, and it's got, a thing I like about it's got the traditional caboose on the back and stuff like that. But look at that, look down there.
My goodness.
This goes through some extraordinary scenery.
So if you're scared of heights, you're not going to be on that one.
Well, you go past the Bridal Veil waterfall, you go up to Inspiration Pass. The highest point on it is called White Pass Summit. And then there's another one called Dead Horse Gulch.
Oh, that sounds a bit scary, that one.
Well, yeah, because it's like that, and it's rickety, and it's a narrow gauge, and it's just the most magnificent, because you're seeing glaciers, you're seeing massive canyons, you're seeing these magnificent
How
mountains.
do they build these? How would they build tracks in that
Well, this was built
concentration?
because it goes to Whitehorse, which is the capital of the Yukon in Canada,
Sure.
and it was built in 1898 for the because you had the Klondike, the gold rush at the Klondike. It was built for that, because the best way they could get the gold out of there was through Skagway, which is a port. And these days, a lot of cruise ships go there. So these days, it's only open during the cruise season.
Right, okay.
And you go, it's a 4-hour trip. It's a 44 kilometres, and 88 to do the round trip. And you're climbing for most of the time, and it's just drop dead gorgeous. Now, the fourth one we're going to Ecuador in South America.
Ecuador. Might have
and
some
we're doing the
Ecuadorians in
Tren
the audience.
Crucero, which means cruise train. And look at this. This is another brilliant one. This goes from Guayaquil, which is on the coast, and this goes right up to Quito. Now, Quito is the capital of Ecuador. It is the highest capital city in the world. It's well over 4,000 metres. It's fantastic. This is a longer journey. This is a journey of just over 450 kilometres. It takes 3 days to get up there. Now, that doesn't mean you're travelling the whole time. You see, it's pulled by a steam train and all these wonderful carriages. And it's just beautiful. It's just drop dead gorgeous.
That's stunning, absolutely
But
stunning.
what you do is you stop at night time and you go into hotels.
Oh, are they markets there? That was
There are
it.
markets there. This gets very, very high. It goes through an area called, and there we can see some there. This is called the Avenue of the Volcanoes, because it's got some of the world's tallest volcanoes there. Once again, it's single track.
Yeah.
And I was saying that you stop overnight. Well, there's one you stop at. It's a hotel that you stop at and overlooks Cotopaxi. Now, Cotopaxi is one of the world's highest mountains. It's over 19,000 foot tall. But not only is it one of the world's highest, it's one of the world's most violent. And this town you stop in on the way there, it's been devastated 3 times, wiped off the face of it 3 times by the volcanic eruptions on Cotopaxi. So you've got to choose the day you go there. And then when you arrive in Quito. Quito is one of the world's really interesting capitals. It's very, very high. But that was 2 years ago. It was a cultural city in South America, the most cultural city, and there's a whole pile of things to do there. Fantastic journey just to go and do that.
Amazing.
And as I say, just wonderful. Wonderful, 4 wonderful train trips for anybody that wants a bit of adventure.
Beautiful.
Just
Well,
beautiful.
thank you for talking us through
pleasure.
those. Just really quickly, because we have to wind up. If you had to choose one of those as the most amazing experience, do you think you could put your finger on one?
Well,
They all look amazing.
For me, it would be probably the Tren Crucero, because it's in South America, and the scenery there. I mean, every one of them is magnificent, but I just think the culture
Lovely.
in South America would grab me. I'd be wanting to go there and mix with these former Incans and get to see some of those massive Andean volcanoes and get to experience
Now,
that.
if anyone's missed out on any information,
Yep.
what website can we go to?
We can go to radioroaming.com or listen to my radio station, Radio Roaming, on iTunes Radio. or any other, just go to an app, any of the radio apps, and just search for Radio Roman, and you'll probably find me.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Steve.
Thanks,
Always
Neesha.
a
It's been
pleasure and
wonderful.
always very interesting.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, we'll see you
I
back
can
soon.
see Fred salivating over there. 'cause
Oh,
he
yeah,
wants
I'm
to
sure
go
he
on-
wants to be
go
on a
all of
train.
them.
He does. Well, we better
Yes,
pass back to
I
you,
just
Fred.
saw myself salivating too. Steve, just a quick question before we go. Thank you, Neesha, by
That's
the way.
all right.
And your dress doesn't look like a curtain anymore. It's
Oh.
beautiful.
Thank you.
No, it is actually beautiful. I just thought it was that sunblock material. Anyway, and because you're so hot that you
Yeah.
have to wear the
Yeah,
sunblock.
of course. Yeah.
Steve, how do they compare to normal holidays? Because a lot of people are saying, is it very expensive to do these train trips?
Well, the Tren Crucero, of course, because that is over 3 days, and because you're staying in hotels, of course, that's quite. It works at about $1,200 US.
Oh,
Then you
okay.
get
That's
your
not
meals
bad.
and everything. That's pretty good for
Remember,
3
everything's-
days,
it's like
and that's
going
an
on a-
extraordinary journey. A lot of the others, I mean, for instance, you can do the Albula roll if you've got a Euro pass. You can do that. I think you can do the Flam with the Euro pass as well. So if you've got your Euro pass, but they're sort of local
so
prices.
look into it because it's
Yep.
affordable. It's not as
affordable,
expensive.
Yeah, and the one that you do, the White Pass Yukon, that's usually if you're doing a cruise. It's all you just charge a bit extra for the cruise
Fantastic.
to do the trip. So it's not all that expensive.
I reckon you're going to do Mexico next time you come in.
Ooh,
There's a
Mexico.
pretty
Mexico.
there's a pretty good railway there, but we'll do Mexico next time.
Thank you, Neesha. We'll see you later on the show, and we'll see
Yeah,
Steve when we
great.
come back from holidays in a few
Thanks,
weeks' time.
Fred.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Look forward to talking about Mexico. Someone that is talking about show business coming up very soon. But before we do that, I've just been reminded we're not playing Spin It to Win It today, but we are wanting people to win those paint scrapers. We've got about 20 of them to give away. All you have to do to win is become a couchie and also be part of Spin It to Win It at the same time. If you haven't caught how it all works, this is Adrian.
If you'd like to be a contestant on Spin It to Win It, all you have to do is head to thecouch.com.au. That's thecouch.com.au. Sign up as a couchie and you'll automatically be registered to play. Back to you, Freddie.
Yes, I'm looking forward to travelling on a train. How about you, Cam? Welcome back.
A train, yes,
Have you ever
absolutely.
been on a train yourself?
Does Transperth count? I'm an airline? No, maybe
That's a
not.
good segue.
I've been on the Shinkansen in Japan, which is the bullet train, which is pretty fantastic. And I hate to be one to do Steve Collins' job for him, but he did mention that I think Central America town was the highest in the world. I think that, of course, belongs to Amsterdam as the highest country, highest town in the world. So,
Family
yeah,
feud.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, Steve. But someone else who's been smoking the wacky backy really quickly is Bruce Jenner, who we did talk about on last week's episode, basically with his, not because he's deciding to become a woman, that's not the reason why. He's actually been involved in a hit and run case
I
in
heard
LA.
that
Yes,
today.
quite horrific actually. Just got an image here of some of the wreck that he's plowed through in a black
was a
four-wheel
fatal,
drive.
wasn't it?
Yes, and one fatality, unfortunately, I believe in the white car there. So basically, he's being questioned by LA police at the moment. And I don't know if it is to do with the mounting pressure that he's having from the media in deciding this decision of him no longer wanting to be a man or whatever. But it's not really an excuse, to be perfectly honest. So hopefully it is a misunderstanding or something along the lines. It is sad that someone has passed away,
look,
but
it's always terrible.
yeah, it's a bit interesting to see what will come out from there. So next up, if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 365 days, you'd be aware of Disney's massive movie called Frozen and the associated song with it called Let It Go.
Let it go, let it go. I wish they would. Everybody sings that song.
So much so at the end of last year, the directors actually came out and apologized to parents. But here is, this is Libby Williamson, who runs kids parties for children, obviously, in Melbourne. And she's basically saying how it's been a roaring trade. She's glad people aren't letting it
What
go
is
because
it kids love about it?
I think it's the demographic, so it's the sort of 3 to 9 year old young females, and I think the movie does celebrate a very strong female character in it who has a badass power of being able to control ice, and basically everyone's terrified of her and stuff like that. So, and again, I think it is good that they are breaking these gender stereotypes. She's never sort of in danger; she can always look after herself. So, as if letting it go is starting to get on your nerves, unfortunately, you've got a little bit longer to go before you can truly let it go.
Fair enough.
Speaking of things that possibly we should be letting go is some reality television or some bad TV. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here by Channel 10 has hit the scenes. Those red pants, I mean, what were they thinking?
What did you think? A combination of the people they've put in there. What do you think? What's your Cameron opinion? Because I know you like to. I bet you've spoken about it on your blog.
Well, very possibly.
Tell me the truth. What do you think?
It's not actually a terrible mix. Marsha from Brady Bunch. I don't understand. I don't know why she's in there.
She wasn't working at the time, and they wanted an international person.
That's true.
Have you noticed that every single person on that show are not working at the moment?
That is, yeah, for the most part, I think that's true.
It's good money.
Joel Creasy is probably the only reason why you should tune in. He's hilarious, very, very funny. And again, to see Barry Hall and Murph Hughes, if you're a sporting aficionado, it is good to see them back on screen as well. But just the format, like it's a 10-year-old show from the UK that they're basically bringing out. And I think a lot of the time that they've been saying, they constantly go on, it's about in the jungle, in the jungle, in the jungle, when in actual fact it's filmed on the veldt, which is in South Africa, which is
in a
very
safe place.
In a very safe place, yes. Chris Brown and Julia Morris as the hosts are very affable, very good, but the constant cutbacks to them live is just...
And their little jokes.
Yeah, it's getting very Big Brother, and you want to steer away from that because you let that go a few years ago. And let Channel 9 pick up the reins from that one as well. It started off with a viewership of 1.66 million, so very strong. 1.2 million, very strong following. It has declined down to about 800,000 off the back of My Kitchen Rules coming back.
Why do you reckon that's the case?
It's just
people sick of it.
It's kind of wash, rinse, repeat. Like we'll get a sort of D to Z grade celebrity. We'll put them in a box of horribleness to win food for everyone else, and we'll do the same thing every week until they sort of get voted off. And it's just like it's got no appeal after that. Basically.
How long does this run for? Is it 3 months?
I think it's actually only 6 weeks. So
yeah.
But at the moment now they're looking to do Intruders. So we do have some images of the Intruders in here. So first up is yeah, exactly. So that's everyone's favorite creep Blake and Louise from the second season of The Bachelor.
You couldn't have got a better intruder.
Exactly. Next up we have also Steve and Michelle from Australia's Biggest Loser. They're speculated to be going in there. And last we have Tim and Anna from the first season of The Bachelor. They're just, I'm not surprised that they're off just making beautiful babies. I don't think they're going to be on TV at all, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, the proof will be in the pudding whether it keeps going.
You know what, I have to say to you, I don't know, the personalities they've got in there are nice people, but they don't capture my imagination. I mean, Joel Creasy, yeah, he's funny, but how much Joel Creasy can a person take?
I can take a lot of Joel Creasy.
All right. Now, because it's the youth market, but they're not targeting it young
exactly,
people. Most of the people there are over 40, 50 years old.
I wish I could take less Chrissy Swan, but given who she is, it's a bit hard to do. So, yeah.
I just think that it's a blend of people that are, I don't want to call them rejects, but I would have to say...
But you just did, so it's okay.
Put it this way, I don't think you see them on one of the big radio stations. Well, Chrissy lost her job at the hot radio station in Melbourne.
Yes.
So she was unemployed. Murph Hughes, all these people, Marsha. When was Brady Bunch last on?
Exactly.
And they also sang, you know, the Brady Bunch theme. And it's I just think that Channel 10 have again picked up a dud.
Yeah, it's that car crash element, I think, that people are tuning in for. And after a few weeks, that's waning, and we can only see where it'll go from there.
And look at Family Feud. It's done so well that they've now brought it in on Sunday, but I'm scared they're going to kill it off by putting too much Family Feud.
Yes, I would imagine Channel 10 does have a habit of doing that. So the next story is a bit of unfortunate news. We have a Norman Yem, who's
from the Sullivans.
From the Sullivans, from Homicide. Yes, number 96. He has passed away at the age of 82. A very tall and very well esteemed Australian actor. He actually served 4.5 years as principal baritone in the Australian Opera before he actually came on TV. Yeah,
okay.
So and renowned to be a wonderful gentleman, a fantastic actor.
It's amazing when we all grow up with these people, then you hear they're 82, you said?
Yes, yes.
Amazing. You just think, where did the time go?
Exactly.
Where were
we? Exactly.
I remember him from the Sullivans. I don't remember him from Homicide. But the Sullivans, definitely, I can't remember, was it Norm in the Sullivans? I think his name was Norm in the Sullivans. So yeah, it's just amazing. These people are passing away.
It is a bit unfortunate, yeah. So another Australian great gone, but never forgotten, of course. So our thoughts go out to his family and friends, and he will be missed. Finally, something that won't be missed, Shark Tank.
I thought you were going to say Tony Abbott.
No, well, that too, but yeah, at the time of recording, yes.
Well, the Shark Tank's probably the Liberal Party. They'll throw him in.
Now, stick with me on this. It's an Australian version of a US TV show based on a UK series called Dragon's Den, which was reformatted from original series Mane no Tora from Japan. Okay. So it's a reissue of a remake of a adapted series from an original series over 13 years ago. Channel 10, you really know how to pick them. I mean, you're really just knocking them out of the park.
What do they do on the show?
It's basically a bunch of investors. So their net worth is under $1 billion, around under $1 billion, which is less than what's Frozen's make. But basically, Andrew Banks from Talat 2, Naomi Simpson from Red Balloon, Janine Ellis from Boost Juice Bars, Steve Baxter, who's an entrepreneur and investor, and John McGrath Real Estate Agents. People basically go up and pitch their ideas to them,
and they pick it up.
And basically, they then sort of say, "I'll give you X X amount of money for X amount of your business idea.
So it's like The
essentially.
Voice, but with ideas.
Kind of, yes. But
Okay.
It's been done before.
Have
a
you
million
seen the show
times.
before? Have you seen
Yes, I've seen it in different incarnations. I've
Do you
seen it in
like
Shark
it?
Tank. I've seen it as Dragon's Den. It was good.
Yeah.
12 years ago. But
Yeah.
like, why are they bringing it back now? And this is the thing with Channel 10 as well. If they make it about the judges, like they do with So You Think You Can Dance, and not the contestants, it's doomed to failure. So.
And you know what? Channel 10 did it with Mike Munro. They said he was leaving, and then he's back again reading.
Yep.
I think Channel 10 needs to commit to something. Let things go. Maybe they should sing that song from Frozen. Let
That'd
it
be nice.
go, let
Yes.
it go. They need to have new ideas. Now, I'll give you a quick tip because I know we need to end the segment.
Yes.
Prisoner was a big show for Channel 10.
Absolutely.
It rated incredibly. It's been 35 years and it's still rating, and people still think it's a new show all over the world. England loved it. Wentworth came back, a remake of Prisoner.
Yep.
It's on Foxtel. Why hasn't 10 picked it up, thinking they had the original enthusiasm of the show?
And that's what I'm saying, originality. They need to come up with some new ideas.
And yet they would have been the optimum channel to have it, and yet they haven't picked up Wentworth. And it's been rating, it's now sold to about 15 countries around the world.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that tell you it actually appeals to people? Maybe people would have loved to have seen it back on Channel 10.
Well, it does tell them, but whether they're listening...
Thank you very much.
They're
Anything else
they're
for
too
us?
busy hearing their share price crash. No, that's about it for now, and hopefully we'll have some better news TV-wise, so something you can actually watch on the box that's not reality-based next week.
Thank you very much, Cam. We'll look forward to seeing you and the rest of our crew when we meet again in a few weeks' time, or maybe next week. We're going to take a break, be back with more of The Couch. Right after this, we've got music, and we've also got Annie Kay talking to a fantastic guy called Michael Tan. See you then.
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door.
Welcome back to The Couch here on Aurora Television, Foxtel. Thanks for your company. Episode 513. Paula and Clay are going to be talking to us very, very soon about music. But before we do that, we're going to still talk about music. Michael Tan, he's the guy that's behind all the music acts on our telethon here in Perth. He's also the manager for Johnny Ruffo, or Ruffo as you would call him, and many more. My good friend Annie Kay has got another Kidzbiz segment, and she's wearing red, and I think you look wonderful. Over to you, Annie.
Thanks, Fred. Today on the show, we have Michael Tan. He's a music producer and he runs a studio in Sydney. And his clients include Sony and Universal Music, among others. So, hi, Michael.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. So, can you tell us a bit about what a producer does?
Sure. The producer basically has the role of creating the products. So in commercial music, it's liaising with the artist and anything from writing to programming to recording to engineering to mixing the recorded music.
Could you explain a bit about those parts?
Absolutely. The role of the producer traditionally was to engineer a studio, so to bring in an artist and set up microphones, bring in musicians, that sort of thing. These days, it's a lot of digital work, a lot of computer work. But yeah, there's also a lot of networking that producer has to do with the labels and the management and the marketing teams and a lot of the other commercial aspects of the music industry, while still forming a very close relationship with the artist.
So which part of those do you enjoy the most?
For me, I think most producers really like the music creation side of it, and the other parts are sort of incidental, like that sort of part that we sort of have to do as part of the job.
Yeah.
But definitely the music creation and working with artists to create really good music, that's definitely the highlight I think that all producers would agree on.
Yeah. So how do you produce a song? What do you have to do?
Well, it can be a lot of different things. I mean, some artists, for example, like a singer-songwriter who might play a guitar and have a song already written, the task might be very simple. It might simply just be bringing them in, setting up microphones and recording them, and that's what you see is what you get. Other artists, especially more in pop and electronic sort of music, there's a lot of collaboration and planning that's required. It may need bringing in session musicians to record other instruments, or a lot of programming to make drum beats and synthesizer sounds, and a lot of talking back and forth with the artist about what sort of music we're trying to create.
So what does a producer need to be good at?
A good producer, I think, needs a very good handle on a lot of different aspects of both music and business. Obviously, I think as a producer should be very aware of what's going on musically and technically. So, for example, if they're recording with an artist who's also an instrumentalist, that they can also play the same instruments and they can discuss what sort of style of playing or what sort of sound the artist will be getting from the instrument. It's also useful if producers are experienced with performing and how to record good vocals and what constitutes a good vocal recording.
So who are your favourite artists that you've worked with?
For me, I really most of my work is with TV shows such as X Factor or The Voice and that sort of thing.
Cool.
My personal taste, I really love R&B and soul music. So, lots of Australian soul artists and R&B artists that I'm working with at the moment. Fatai, Omar Dean, Steve Kidzbiz, all from TV shows.
So is an artist a package? Do you need to, is it much about the vocals for an artist, or is it a whole combination of things?
Well, it's a good question. I think it can certainly depend on what sort of artist it is, because there are some artists who are incredibly good singers, and their prowess or their ability as a singer is a big part of their brand or who they are or why people are impressed by them or why they want to hear them. Whereas some artists aren't really focused on being the best singer or the most technically brilliant performer, but really just have a message to communicate or a certain brand or a certain idea or a certain style that they're trying to share with people, which isn't necessarily about being the most polished or the most refined performer, but simply just a purity of message or an authenticity of character, which I think is important.
So let's say if you're an artist who maybe doesn't have that much of a vocal prowess versus someone who does, how do you choose a producer that will produce your music the best and do what you want them to do?
Well, I think a good producer can work with strengths. So I think a good producer will be able to tell the artist or work with the artist and say, this is, I think, the style of music that that you are good at, and the best chance we have of getting the music to reach people is to focus on these certain aspects. So if someone wasn't, for example, a particularly strong singer, which a lot of very successful artists aren't strong singers, then it would not be about them trying to sound like they're the best singer. But would really focus on whatever it is that they're trying to portray themselves as an artist.
And do you have any advice for someone if they're looking for a producer?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think it certainly doesn't hurt to try several different people, but I think the relationship that forms between the artist and the producer is critical. I think it's really important that the producer understands what the artist is trying to create. And so I certainly see it quite a lot where there's misunderstanding and the product will sort of sound like it's halfway between two things. It might sound like the artist is trying to do one thing and the producer might be trying to produce it another way. And it's kind of neither here nor there. So I think it's really important that they are very unified, so it just sounds like, when you hear the product, that it just sounds like the best representation of what the artist is trying to communicate.
Now, I'm curious to know, what is Johnny Ruffo like to work with?
Johnny Ruffo. Johnny is a very good friend of mine. I've known Johnny for a long time. Johnny is one of the most energetic and positive and enthusiastic people I've ever met. So it's a lot of fun. The studio's always a lot of fun. There's always a lot of jokes being told. And it's a very high-energy session, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, thanks for coming on the show today, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you. And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call.
Back to you, Fred.
Thank you, Annie. That was a great interview, and we look forward to seeing Michael in Perth, right here in this very studio, very, very soon when he comes back to do some work over here. Okay, someone that's doing some amazing work at lunchtime is Fasta. If you haven't caught what they're up to, here is a little bit of a sneak.
At Fasta, you've loved our 8 for $8.90 lunches so much, we've brought back your favorite 8 for $8.90 lunches. Your favorite 8 for $8.90 lunches, only at Fasta.
If you would like to win one of those $50 vouchers, there's 50 of them this year to give away. All you have to do is put the code word Fasta, F-A-S-T-A, P-A-S-T-A. Pasta spelt right, Fasta's not, but it's always spelt right when you go there for lunch. Those fantastic meals, $50, you can take 5 people with you and have a lunchtime meal. All you have to do, put the word Fasta, send it to us on an SMS with your name and address, as it says on screen. Name and address must be your name and address. 0439 929 929, 0439 929 929. That's the SMS number to send it to, and you could be the lucky winner from anywhere in Australia to go and enjoy some fantastic food at lunchtime or dinner at Fasta. Thanks for their support as well. Time to talk music with us, someone that never eats pasta or pizza. They're not here. I was going
to say, where's that?
We'll fill in.
It wouldn't be you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to Clay and, of course, to my good friend
Hello.
Paula. Welcome
How you
back.
doing?
Thanks for having us back.
Nice to have you here. What have you been up to?
hectic.
flat out.
We've been Fringe Festival and weddings and singing all
Fringe
over.
Festival's doing really well
It
here in
is.
WA, isn't
Doing
it?
amazing.
Incredible. It's really caught on, and it's such an international thing too.
Yeah. So it's been quite
You're not
busy.
performing at all?
We did. We
We
performed
did.
on the weekend, like
Yeah.
on Friday, and it was a massive
What did you
show.
perform?
We did a show called Saucy Little Secret.
Oh, and were you on together?
We were on together. He
did
was
you-
the MC,
Ah.
and I was the mother of the blues, Ma Rainey. So it was really cool fun.
Do you know any of the lines? Can you give us 30 seconds?
Sure.
Go on.
Come
One.
on.
I'll count you down.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on in, precious. Sit a spell. I'm all up in a state, honey. It's been a long night. Stop laughing at me.
You forget who she is after a while.
Is that what you did last night, or is
Yeah.
this part of the Fringe? How good is the
Yeah.
accent? What did you say after that?
That's all she wrote, Jack. You know,
We
ain't
had
that a fact? We
accents
all
and-
had different accents.
Oh, okay, partner.
Yeah. you
All
know
right.
what
Well,
I'm saying.
let me go straight to music. Tim.
Tim Farris. So Perth boy Tim Farris from NXS had a horrific boat accident for a
Yes.
musician. You know,
He was a guitarist, eh?
Guitarist for NXS. He got his ring finger caught in a piece of mechanical equipment on the boat,
Oh.
and it got
The ring or the finger?
the finger.
Oh.
So he's had his finger reattached, been in surgery twice to get it all sorted, but he's going to have permanent damage to his hand.
Especially
So
if you're a guitarist.
that's it. It's huge.
Is it the finger that he, or is it the strumming hand? Because
I think he's good that way. He needs
if
it
he can
either
just
way.
strum, then,
I know. It's
No.
going to be still quite uncomfortable.
Yeah. It
There's
is.
no feeling usually.
You know,
after
and
that
that's like the worst thing that could happen for a musician. Like you lose your money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's like another INXS legend gone.
Wow.
How sad is that for
It
INXS?
is very sad.
terrible.
Not good. What about Katy Perry? What's
All
happening
right,
with
so
her?
Katy Perry did the halftime Super Bowl show.
She performed.
She
Yeah.
did. And apparently she introduced the world to this new singer called Missy Elliott.
The new one.
Yeah, she's new
Is she
apparently.
any
She's never
good?
been anywhere.
Is she as good as the
hold
old
on,
Missy?
hold on. Yeah, exactly.
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 So all the young kids, oh, who's
What
Missy
is it with
Elliott?
these people?
I
There's so
don't
many
know.
incidents
There's
at the
new
moment.
generations.
Nobody knows
Nobody
anybody.
knows anyone. Yep.
Sooner or later, give it 2 years, they'll be like, what's a Michael Jackson? Who's Michael Jackson?
Yeah, that's what'll happen.
It's
But she
terrible.
played to the biggest Super Bowl audience ever of 118 million people, and their sales went crazy.
Granted, I reckon they're all there to watch the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
do you know what? It would be an honour to play at something.
Yeah, but I
like
think
Oh,
their
absolutely.
demographic would have changed from 8-year-old girls to 14-year girls suddenly watching the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, Katy Perry!
that. She kissed a girl
And
she
they liked it.
Bobby Christina.
Oh,
What can you
listen.
tell me about her?
This is a sad story that's just come out over the last few weeks. They found her face down in
This
a
is
bath.
Whitney Houston's
Whitney's
daughter, isn't
daughter.
it?
This is Whitney's daughter. They found her face down in a bathtub. She's in a coma now, isn't
In a
it?
coma.
right?
They initially thought it was tragic
Suicide.
like her mother, like just drugs and overdosing in the bath because her mum's been dead 3 years.
But in typical Houston dynasty fashion, there's so much speculation as to what's happened. Apparently, there's rumors of abuse beforehand, before they found her.
From her boyfriend,
From-
who apparently
from
was her
boyfriend
mum's
slash
adopted son.
Brother/husband. I don't
Family
know.
Feud, eh?
Oh,
It's a
it's
crazy
huge.
thing. It's a lot to do with
So
money.
she's obviously been depressed as well.
Oh,
off the
absolutely.
money. I mean, losing your mother, who was such
yeah.
an influential person in
Exactly,
your life and such a big
exactly.
star to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
People deal with it in different ways. I
Exactly.
mean, we all remember the last. I'm trying to think of the guy, the lady who committed suicide just a couple of years ago. The guy who sang Bob Geldof. Was it Bob Geldof's
yeah.
daughter?
Paula Yates. Is that one?
One
Bob
of the-
Geldof's daughter?
Is it Bob Geldof's daughter that
Oh,
was found?
Peaches?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Is that the right one?
Yep,
Now it's incredible. Things like this
Yeah.
happen and are happening more often, aren't they?
absolutely.
So is any new update on this?
They're all still waiting to hear back.
Yeah,
they want
right.
to take her off
She's
life
alive,
support.
but isn't she? Oh, they want
She
to
is-
take her
they
off.
wanna
as in
take her
They
off.
they
want
let
to take her
go.
off life support, but her father, Bobby Brown,
Won't let her.
has said, no, you keep her going as long as you can.
Well, let's hope-
I think that's his, because it's his last real
Yeah.
connection to Whitney,
Whitney.
and everything.
Well, let's
that-
hope something good comes
Yeah.
out
Really
of that.
hope so too.
And you've also got your final story on a local artist. What's
Yeah,
that all about?
absolutely. Our mate Howie Morgan was playing
Howie.
guitar with Kate Sobrano on the weekend. So she's just an amazing artist, and we're really proud of local
What's the artist?
musicians.
Get the name out there again.
Kate Sobrano.
No, I know Kate Sobrano. You-
Howie Morgan.
Howie Morgan. There you go. You just. I know.
Kate Sobrano.
Oh, no, I know. It's Kate
No,
Sobrano.
Howie Morgan, who
Howie
plays
Morgan.
all over Perth. He's an acoustic guitarist.
He's
and
amazing.
Amazing.
He's amazing.
Wonderful. Can we look him up?
Absolutely. On Facebook, you can find him on Facebook. Howie Morgan.
Thank you very much, guys, for coming in today. You're always a pleasure, a lot of fun,
Thanks for
and
having
us.
always entertaining.
We're going to go faster pasta.
Good luck. Well, you know what? We might go together. I might go with you. I think on that note, Kate Sobrano. Thank you. Thank you very much to Paula and Clay. We'll take a break. We're going to be doing some shaving of hair. Paula and Clay are going to... Oh, yes. Let's do that anyway.
All right.
Top three
All
songs
right.
for this week. Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Tony.
babe.
Number 3, let's have a look.
Take Me to Church by Hosier.
Can you sing this one, Clay? No.
Take something about church.
Number 2, maybe not. Uptown Funk.
By Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars.
Oh, and this one, the number 1 synthesized song around the world.
Cheerleader by Omi.
Do you like it?
Omi? Oh my gosh.
What is it? They've got the money to synthesize everything, but they can't sing live, I bet.
Yeah, probably.
Once again, thank you very much. we
Thank
need
you.
to take a break. We're going to do some shaving of hair next for the Leukaemia Foundation. Maybe Paul and Clay can stick
Not
around.
us. Not us.
No. All right, we'll come back after the break with more couch. Stick around.
If you're looking for more info on anything you've seen on today's show, head to thecouch.com.au. It's where you'll find all the links for our guests, plus clips from the show, backstage photos, and even exclusive movie reviews. You can also sign up as a couchie and be part of our competitions, including Spin It to Win It. New Zealand viewers, that's open to you too. So jump online and check it out now. thecouch.com.au.
Welcome back to the couch here on Aurora Television around Australia on Foxtel. Thanks for your company. Now, the Leukaemia Foundation does an amazing job when it comes to blood cancer. They've got a wonderful day called the World's Greatest Shave coming up between the 12th and 15th of March. If you haven't caught all the details, check this ad out and then we'll talk to Chara Faux from the Leukaemia Foundation.
You get a trendy undercut and an even trendier overcut for Leukaemia Foundation's World's Greatest Shave. You Instagram pics, Dolce and Gabbana start following you, their 2 million followers start following you too, you become a social style icon and get invited to the Oscars, where your selfless act catches the eye of Angelina Jolie, who decides to adopt you. Do something amazing to help beat blood cancer.
Be brave and shave.
Sign up now.
Now, like that said, you need to get involved and be brave. Now, let me introduce some brave people. We've got the brave Stacey Hoffman here from Gidgeganup. Welcome to the couch, Stacey.
Thank you.
And you can actually talk a bit louder if you like.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we've also got Jake Gray here from a fantastic hairdresser store. It's called De Jura A Vida Lifestyle. Am I right there, Jake?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Over there, please, Jake.
Yes.
There's your camera. Opportunity, guys. Look at the camera. Well done. Thank you for coming in. And, of course, Chara Faux from the Leukaemia Foundation. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us what this is all about.
Well, the World's Greatest Shave is the Leukaemia Foundation's biggest fundraising campaign. So we are asking Australians to get on board, shave and colour your hair, or you can wax or chalk or even wear a wig. And it's all about raising money to help support Australians with blood cancer.
Now, do we know how many years this has been running for?
Well, it's been running since 1998.
Wow, long time.
So, yes.
Now, I've got some figures. We'll go through some of the stats. Now, we're hoping to raise over $20 million nationally.
That's correct, yes. So it's a big ask, but if we can get all of Australia on board, then it won't be that hard.
Oh, it's going to be easy. If we can raise $20 million here in Perth for a telethon, nationally, I reckon it's a breeze. Now, how many people are we looking at having cut off their hair or being involved? Is it 150,000?
That's correct. So that's 150,000 nationally are the people who get on board. So that might be through schools with their funky hair days or people just colouring or shaving.
Now, what are the funky hair days? What's that all about?
So Funky Hair Day is a way for children to participate without having to shave their heads.
Okay.
So, you know, obviously that's a big ask for children. We do have lots of children.
And the parents might be
who,
concerned
yeah,
if their kids
that's
come
right.
home bored.
But we do have a special day for schools to take part. So it's Funky Hair Day on the 13th of March. And so that's where schools can encourage the students to take part by just wearing their hair in a funky way, colouring, or, you know, we have, you know, big hairdos or wigs, scrunchies, that type of thing, just for a gold coin donation.
And we raise money as well
That's
at the same time.
right.
Now, Funky Hair Day is on the, is it the 13th?
13th, yes.
of March
But
this
schools
year?
can really take part at any time during the campaign.
Fantastic. Now, let me talk to Stacey. Stacey, tell us about your story. How did you get involved? Why did you agree to cut off all your hair? What happened to you?
So in 2000...
I'll get you to look at Matt and tell us the
one?
story. Yep.
Hi. So in 2011, I lost a friend of mine, Cameron Harris, to multiple myeloma. and it affected me pretty severely, and I realised that if something's going to affect me that much, I needed to do something with it, and so I'm shaving off my hair.
I think it's very courageous, can I say? I wouldn't be able to do it, because even though I've got very little hair. Jake, is it a hard thing to shave people's hair off completely? Is it something you enjoy?
No, if anything, it's just making sure that the guest is nice and calm.
Well, let's start to cut your hair off. We'll cut Stacey's hair off while I talk to Chara. You can go straight into it if you like, Jake. Go for it. Now, we're going to cut all of your hair off. Is that right, Stacey?
Yes.
And your
That's
husband
what number
David's in the studio, and I think David said to me before he thinks you're doing such a brave thing. So thank you very much, David, for coming in for moral support. We're going to cut off all the hair. Now, for people who don't know about the Leukaemia Foundation, you do a lot of other work as well and other programs. Run us through some of the things that we can today.
Yeah, sure. So the Leukaemia Foundation provides free services for people affected by leukaemia, lymphoma, myeloma or related blood disorders. So we provide free services for families affected by blood cancer, and so that includes a wide range of things, information, education sessions, support groups, and then we have our transport service. So that's to get patients to and from treatment. So we drive them to their appointments and drive them home again, because often getting to treatment is hard when you've got a blood cancer.
Now, do we know roughly how many people are affected? I know you probably can't break it down to daily or weekly, or maybe you can. Do we know how many Australians are affected by this?
Well, there are currently 60,000 people living with a blood cancer in Australia. It is a lot, and so that's 12,000 people will be diagnosed this year.
That's an amazing total. Now, are you sort of really impressed with Stacey's courage to do this?
Oh, definitely. She's so brave.
Because you know a little bit of the information. I might let you speak to Stacey, and maybe she can answer some of the information that we need to know about her, because you know a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, sure. So Stacey originally set her fundraising goal at $2,000.
Yeah.
But how much have you raised now, Stacey?
I've raised $2,500, and I've still got people saying that they're willing to donate.
Let's give her a big round of applause in the studio, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done, Stacey. Fantastic. And do you have a lot of people that are still quite unsure about cutting off their hair? Because there's a lot of people say, I don't really want to cut off my hair. Can I still get involved? There's another way they can do it, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. So obviously shaving is a fantastic way to take part, but not everyone is as brave as Stacey to have their head shaved. So there are ways you can take part. You can colour your hair, you can wear a wig, or you can even hold a fundraiser. So we're encouraging workplaces to get on board, and then there's also different challenges that we have. So we have mine sites take part through the Mining and Energy Challenge, and then different...
It's amazing how many people are getting involved. The momentum is incredibly growing. We want to have 150,000 people get involved and more. We want to raise $20 million for this fantastic cause. Is there anything else that you would like to touch on that we haven't already raised?
Well, I guess the main reason we do this is to support people with blood cancer. So without the funding, the Leukaemia Foundation can't provide the free services that we do to people in Australia with blood cancer. So we also invest millions of dollars every year into blood cancer research. And so it's really important that we're able to invest that money to help find better treatments and ultimately cures. So that's really what we're looking for.
Fantastic.
And we need the funding to do it.
Now, if people want more information and get involved with this fantastic World's Greatest Shave, where do they go?
Head to worldsgreatestshave.com and sign up there, or you can call us on 1800 500 088.
Give that website again, it's up on screen right now.
worldsgreatestshave.com.
Now, you're going to get your hair shaved?
I'm actually not as brave as Stacey, but I will be wearing a wig or colouring.
Do you know what? It actually
weekends.
suits you, Stacey. Did you envisage yourself what you'd look like with no hair?
I put a lot of beanies on and tried to see what I look like, but
it's looking great.
Your husband's saying, can we take a shot, Matt, of David? He's sitting on our couch over in the corner. David, I know, just nod for us, and we won't be able to hear you, but do you think your wife looks pretty hot without the hair? Are you looking forward to the new Stacey? Are you proud of her? Well done. Thank you very much. thank you very much for coming in today. I know we haven't got all the time in the world, but we have got all the time in the world for Leukaemia Foundation. You do an amazing job. The World's Greatest Shave is just one way that you can get involved, folks. Please go to the website, thecouch.com.au, if you missed any of those details. We're going to come back after the break and show you what Stacey looked like. Well, we know what she looked like before the break. We're going to catch her right after the break and have a look at what she looks like after the hair comes off. Thank you for coming in, and get involved with the Leukaemia Foundation's the World's Greatest Shave. It's a wonderful cause. See you then. Welcome back to the couch. We were talking about the Leukaemia Foundation's World's Greatest Shave, and we thought we'd finish the show. We've got a couple of minutes. I just want to touch very quickly with Chara Faux from the Leukaemia Foundation. We didn't talk about accommodation services. You want to quickly touch on that for me?
Yeah, sure. So our accommodation service is actually one of our biggest services. So we provide accommodation free of charge for Australians who need to relocate from regional areas to city centres for their treatment. So that can last for several months.
Service. And you provide that free of charge.
That's right.
So that's why you need lots of money.
Definitely.
Please get involved with the Leukaemia Foundation's World's Greatest Shave. We've got Stacey here and Jake the hairdresser. Stacey, we're going to show you. I'll get Chara to get up, and Chara's going to show you what you look like. And I really love your honest opinion. Let's show her. We'll hold the mirror up. Hold the mirror for us for a while.
Whoa, that's awesome.
What do you reckon?
I love it.
Are you actually looking at yourself or me?
I'm looking at myself. Right there.
Because I didn't hear the word awesome.
You are awesome too.
You do look beautiful.
Wow, that's really cool. I really like it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, it's too late.
Too late now.
Thank you very much.
That's very
well
cool.
done. So is it something you can live with?
Absolutely.
And I think you're luckier than a lot of people that are suffering with cancer. And well done for doing this for your friend. It is really, really important that people get the message. Get involved with the Leukaemia Foundation's World's Greatest Shave. Jakes, thank you for coming in today. Could you want to just give a plug quickly to your shop and where you are, to Matt's camera?
Just from Fremantle in a place called De Jura Aveda Lifestyle.
And thank you very much for coming in. That is it for this week. Please check out the website, of course, Leukaemia Foundation, and Google it if you don't, thecouch.com.au. It's on screen right now. There you go. Isn't that instant? Well done. We'll leave you with a great performer today. It caught me off guard today. His name is, Al Arden. He's going to sing a beautiful original song. It is called, is it Sailing Flowers? There you go. Say it again.
Selling flowers.
Oh, Selling Flowers. I'll do that after the show for money. Selling Flowers. Here he is. It's his own song, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bar with my life and bar with sleep, and a dream of storms on an island coming. I ain't lying, wish I was. Tell you all the truth. I had me a girl, but she left in a day. Pebbles on my knees from begging her to stay. But she don't like my stupid jokes. Blame her anyway. Body's just so desperate. My head is overthinking things. Lying in this cold I bed, wishing you were here. My heart is just an open cage. My mojo's lost its will to live. The face of stone can hide the truth, but deep within they know that I'm singing. Lying through my gritted teeth, sell you who I am. Selling flowers on the street to prove that I'm a man. She said she would call me back, meet on down the line. Instead she moved on with her life, and now